The conference room glowed with cold light at midnight. A group of executives waited, silent, while their powerful white CEO, Ethan Morrison, leaned over his silver laptop, ready to seal a multi-million-dollar deal. Behind him, the cleaning cart rolled softly. A black janitor mom, Keisha Washington, moved quietly, wiping the table corners. Her uniform was faded, her hands rough from years of invisible work. "Hey, you missed a spot," Ethan said sharply without looking up. Keisha smiled faintly, voice calm. "Yes, sir. I'll fix it." But as she leaned closer, her eyes caught something on his screen. Strange codes flashing under a digital contract. Her breath hitched. She recognized that pattern. Her pulse raced. She whispered to herself, "Oh no, not again." Ethan raised his head. "What was that?" "Nothing, sir," she said. Then suddenly, in one motion, she poured the pitcher of water straight onto his laptop. A loud spark filled the room. The lights flickered. Ethan jumped back. "Are you insane?" he shouted. "You just destroyed my work." Keisha didn't flinch. For the first time, she looked him dead in the eyes. "Sir, I just saved your company. If this already made your blood boil, hit like and subscribe right now, because stories like this are still happening and the world needs to hear them." That night, after the chaos, Keisha Washington walked home under the dim streetlights, her uniform still damp from the water she poured. The city hummed quietly around her, but her mind was loud, replaying every second of what had happened. Her tiny apartment sat above a corner grocery. Inside, her teenage daughter Nia was asleep on the couch, college books open beside her. Keisha brushed a hand through her hair, eyes softening. "You're gonna have the life I never had, baby," she whispered. For years, Keisha had cleaned floors she once designed security systems to protect. Before her husband's death, before the layoffs, she had been one of the best encryption engineers in the Pentagon's contract division. But grief, bills, and discrimination had buried her career faster than any virus could crash a system. Still, she never let Nia see her break. Every night she worked, every floor she scrubbed, was to keep her daughter in school and her dream alive. Tomorrow, though, she might not have a job. Ethan Morrison wasn't the kind of man who forgave embarrassment, especially from a black janitor he never truly saw. Keisha exhaled deeply, staring out the window. "They can take the job," she murmured, "but not my dignity." The next morning, the entire office buzzed with whispers. Every employee had heard about the janitor who ruined the CEO's laptop. When Keisha walked in, the stares followed her like shadows. Some smirked, others just looked away. She kept her head high, pushing her cleaning cart toward the executive floor. But before she could swipe her badge, 2 security guards stopped her. "Mr. Morrison wants to see you," one said flatly, in the glass conference room. Ethan Morrison sat behind a new laptop, his expression like stone. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" he began, his voice low but sharp. "That machine held a $300 million contract. You cost me months of work." Keisha clasped her hands together. "Sir, I tried. Don't interrupt me." Ethan snapped. "You people never take responsibility. You think just because you're pitted, you can act however you want." The room went silent. One word echoed in her chest. "You people." Keisha straightened, meeting his eyes with quiet fire. "If you think mopping floors makes me blind, you're wrong," she said softly. "That deal was a trap, but you were too arrogant to see it." Ethan leaned forward, sneering. "Save your stories, Ms. Washington. You're fired." Keisha nodded once. "You'll regret that. If this happened right in front of you, what would you do? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. And if you want justice as much as I do, hit subscribe." 2 hours later, Ethan Morrison sat in his office when his phone exploded with alerts. Unauthorized access, file breach, network corruption. His face drained of color. "What the hell?" he muttered. Downstairs, security scrambled. The company's servers were crashing one by one. And then a voice came from the doorway. "Calm. Steady. Mr. Morrison," Keisha said, stepping in, holding a tablet. "You're under cyber attack." He froze. "How do you know that?" Because I used to design systems like yours, she said, walking past him to the main screen. I told you that contract was a trap. Ethan watched as her fingers flew across the keyboard. Within seconds, she traced a breach route, cut off a malicious IP, and started isolating infected servers. You wrote this code? He asked, stunned. Part of it, she replied. For the Pentagon before my husband died. The room went dead silent. For the first time, Ethan saw her not as a janitor, but as a genius who just saved his empire. Keisha turned to him, voice calm but fierce. You call me you people, remember? I'm the reason your company still exists. Ethan couldn't speak. All he could do was watch her work. Ethan paced the office, disbelief twisting across his face as Keisha calmly restored his network. Every line of code she touched brought another system back online. The room filled with the rhythmic clicking of her fingers, the same sound he used to ignore when she scrubbed floors. How? How do you even know this stuff? Ethan finally asked. Keisha didn't look up. Because I built part of the firewall your company still uses. 15 years ago, under a different name. He frowned. Different name? Washington Moore, she said quietly. Before I buried that part of my life. Silence. The executives around them exchanged stunned looks. Ethan swallowed hard. You mean, you're that Keisha Moore? The one from the Pentagon encryption project. She nodded once. And you were about 30 seconds away from signing a contract that would have given hackers full control of your systems. Ethan lowered himself into his chair, voice soft now. You saved me. Keisha met his eyes. No, Mr. Morrison. I saved every person who works here. But not for you, for the people who can't afford to lose their jobs. Her calm power filled the room. For the first time, he felt small, not because she spoke louder, but because she didn't need to. The next morning, headlines exploded across every business network. Cyber attack on Morrison Tech stopped by black janitor turned security hero. Within hours, the truth was everywhere. Investors praised her. Employees who once ignored her stopped her in the hallway to thank her. But Keisha Washington didn't smile. She just did her rounds as usual. Same cart, same gloves, same quiet dignity. When Ethan Morrison walked into the break room that afternoon, conversations froze. He cleared his throat, then spoke loud enough for everyone to hear. I owe someone a public apology, he said. His voice trembled slightly. Miss Washington, I was wrong. You didn't destroy this company. You saved it. And me. Keisha looked at him calmly. You don't owe me words, sir. You owe everyone in this building respect. He nodded, humbled. Then let me start with this. Effective immediately, Morrison Tech would like to offer you the position of Chief Cybersecurity Consultant and a seat on the board. The room broke into applause. Keisha's eyes softened, but her tone stayed steady. I'll accept, not for your ego, but for every invisible worker you'll start seeing now. Ethan lowered his head. Deal. That night, Keisha Washington sat on a small balcony with her daughter Nia, the city lights flickering below like quiet applause. Nia held the newspaper headline in her hands, eyes glowing. Mom, you're trending everywhere. You're a hero. Keisha chuckled softly. Heroes don't pour water on laptops, baby. They just do what's right, even when no one's watching. She looked out over the skyline, remembering every insult, every ignored good evening, every mop stroke that paid for Nia's dreams. Do you miss your old life? Nia asked. Keisha smiled. No, because tonight I got it back on my own terms. A breeze carried the distant hum of the city, a sound that once reminded her of struggle, now sounding like peace. Tomorrow, she'd walk into Morrison Tech not as a janitor everyone overlooked, but as the woman who saved it. And this time, no one would dare look through her again. She whispered, We're not invisible anymore. If you believe this should never happen again, share this now. And to my USA, UK, and Canadian viewers, your voice is power. Use it.